In ancient Egypt, killing a cat didn't just make people angry, it could get you executed. And that's not even the strangest part. Because to the Egyptians, cats weren't just animals. They were believed to see things humans couldn't. Spirits, energy, even forces from another world. If a cat stared into nothing, they thought it wasn't nothing at all. So why did an entire civilization fear and worship cats at the same time? And what they did with cats after death is honestly disturbing. Let's go back thousands of years to ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt is often remembered for its pyramids, powerful pharaohs, and mysterious gods. But one of the most fascinating and unusual elements of this civilization was something far more familiar to us today: the cat. In modern times, cats are beloved pets, sometimes seen as independent or even distant companions. However, in ancient Egypt, cats were far more than animals. They were seen as protectors, spiritual beings, and even manifestations of divine power. The importance of cats in ancient Egypt did not begin with religion, but with something practical. Egyptian society depended heavily on agriculture, especially the storage of grain. Large quantities of grain were kept in storage facilities, and these stores attracted pests such as rats and snakes. These pests could destroy food supplies and spread disease, posing a serious threat to survival. Cats, with their natural hunting abilities, became invaluable. They protected the grain, reduced the presence of dangerous animals, and helped maintain stability in daily life. Over time, however, Egyptians began to notice something unusual about cats. Their behavior seemed different from other animals. Cats were active at night, moving silently through the darkness with ease. Their eyes reflected light in a way that made them appear almost supernatural. They could sit completely still for long periods and then suddenly move with incredible speed and precision. To the Egyptian mind, these traits suggested that cats were not entirely ordinary creatures. This is where the spiritual significance of cats began to develop. Egyptians believed that cats had a connection to a hidden world beyond human perception. They thought cats could see spirits or detect unseen energies. If a cat stared into empty space, it was not considered meaningless. Instead, people believed the cat might be observing something invisible to human eyes. Because of this belief, cats were often kept in homes not only to protect against physical threats, but also to guard against negative spiritual forces. The divine connection of cats was most strongly associated with the goddess Bastet. Bastet was one of the most important deities in ancient Egyptian religion and was often depicted as a woman with the head of a cat. Interestingly, Bastet was not always portrayed this way. In earlier periods, she was shown as a lioness, representing fierce power and protection. Over time, her image softened into that of a domestic cat, reflecting her role as a guardian of the home, a symbol of fertility and a protector of families. Bastet embodied both nurturing and destructive qualities. She was associated with motherhood, love, and joy, but also had a darker side capable of great violence when provoked. This dual nature mirrored how Egyptians viewed cats themselves. Cats could be gentle and affectionate, yet also swift and deadly hunters. This balance between calmness and danger made them even more mysterious and worthy of reverence. The respect for cats in ancient Egypt was not merely symbolic. It was enforced through strict laws. Killing a cat, even accidentally, was considered a serious crime. Historical accounts suggest that people who harmed cats could face severe punishment, including death. There are stories of mobs attacking individuals who killed cats, demonstrating how deeply this belief was rooted in society. Cats were not just protected, they were sacred. The bond between humans and cats extended even into death. When a family cat died, the household would go into mourning. One of the most striking rituals involved shaving their eyebrows as a sign of grief. The cat's body would then be carefully prepared and mummified, much like a human. This process involved preserving the body so that it could exist in the afterlife. The mummified cat would often be placed in a special tomb or buried with its owner, ensuring that their connection continued beyond death. Archaeologists have discovered millions of mummified cats in Egypt, which reveals something even more intriguing. Not all of these cats were beloved pets. Many were specifically bred for religious purposes. People would purchase cats to be sacrificed and mummified as offerings to the gods, particularly Bastet. These offerings were believed to carry prayers or requests to the divine world. This practice shows that cats played a central role not only in daily life, but also in religious rituals and communication with the gods. Cats were also connected to one of the most powerful gods in Egyptian mythology, the sun god Ra. In certain myths, Ra was said to transform into a cat to battle Apep, a giant serpent that represented chaos and darkness. In this form, the cat became a symbol of cosmic order fighting against destruction. The Egyptians also believed in a concept known as Heka, which can be understood as magic or divine energy. Heka was not seen as something unnatural, but as a fundamental force present in the world. Cats were thought to be closely connected to this energy. Their sensitivity, awareness, and mysterious behavior suggested that they could interact with forces beyond human understanding. For this reason, cats were often associated with protection against curses, evil spirits, and negative energies. In addition to homes, cats were honored in temples. One of the most famous centers of cat worship was the city of Bubastis, dedicated to Bastet. In this city, cats roamed freely and were treated with great care. Large festivals were held in honor of Bastet, attracting thousands of people. These celebrations included music, dancing, and offerings, creating an atmosphere of devotion and joy. The presence of cats in these sacred spaces further reinforced their importance in both religious and social life. Cats were so valuable that laws were created to prevent them from being taken out of Egypt. Exporting cats was forbidden, and there are records suggesting that officials were tasked with retrieving smuggled cats and bringing them back. This indicates that cats were not only spiritually important, but also considered a national asset. When we look deeper, the reason cats became so important in ancient Egypt is a combination of practical benefit and human interpretation. Cats provided real protection against threats, while their mysterious nature led people to believe they were connected to something greater than the physical world. In conclusion, cats in ancient Egypt were far more than pets. They were protectors, symbols of divine power, and beings that existed between worlds. Their legacy continues even today, shaping how we see and understand cats. And maybe, just maybe, when a cat stares into nothing, it's not really nothing at all.